But so that episode ends with them
with dumbass cliffhanger.
So the next episode is the Rangers Mega Voyage.
Now, during their time down, the footage somehow clips from Carlos in the piloting seat to Andros in the piloting seat, and switching between the Astro to the Delta Megazord.
Yeah. Yeah, it switches Zords
it's probably
from
just
the
an
one
editing
to
mistake.
the other to the other. And yeah, it's an edit fuck up.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And then they begin to separate the saucer.
Yeah, they did, which is actually kind of cool that they did that.
I wish somebody was here to hear that.
Oh, he is. He's downstairs.
But I will say,
yeah,
this little part right here, this little part where the Megazord stays down there and fights Monster and gets its ass beat.
Guess who's in charge of that again? Alpha,
because it is a nearly automated piece of equipment. At least 40-something% automated is the Megazord.
By the way,
you know what? I completely forgot that Alpha was basically running the Mega.
But look,
by the way,
Astro Mega.
Now
he wasn't even running it. He was just standing there.
So now we have another problem. Alpha says, "Hey, go find it because I've ran a search and it's on one of Jupiter's moons." Mm-hmm. Let me explain something to you. Jupiter has 67 fucking moons. And if it's on Titan, cue Dead Space 2 intro.
60 fucking moons. He's sitting down there fighting like, where in the fuck are they? I'm getting my ass
Rangers, have you found it yet? Alpha, 67.
Sorry, we've only checked 3 moons.
67 moons, Alpha. Be a little bit more specific.
Yeah.
This isn't like Earth. One moon. It's on the moon. Go to the one moon.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's so good.
Yeah, Jupiter's got a shit ton of moons.
To be fair, maybe they just scanned the power source when they got close.
Well, they did. Once they got closer, they scanned it and they knew exactly where it was.
Think they
it was like, go to Jupiter. It's on one of the moons. Oh, good. Thanks, asshole. Are you fucking kidding me?
They fly to Jupiter and they're like,
oh, thanks, asshole.
How many moons? Hey, Andros, you've been in space a long time. How many moons does Jupiter have? 67.
And
let's just scan the energy source.
And by the way,
oh, and
we have
they're turned off. The Zords are not on.
No, right? Why would they be on?
So they're what energy source? I mean, guess.
Oh, you are correct. They're not giving off energy.
Yeah.
They're basically in storage.
Yes. Yeah, they're in storage.
Maybe the building has a lot of energy.
No. We just ignore it and enjoy the show.
It's true. Yeah.
Here's how they can scan it. Once again, Billy fucking Cranston built these. You know how I know?
I was going to bring
it
that
up with something I see later. It was in our solar fucking system.
There's something I'm going to bring up with that. But first I want to ask, as soon as the ship docks, how does Andros know? Oh, yeah, this way, guys. How do you know this?
Here's how. We
Alien
can actually
writing.
No, we could justify this. One possibility is like you said, maybe he can read the alien writing. But there is another. There's another. Experience and memories and sometimes data is passed through the morphing grid.
Yep.
And if Billy made these things, because reasons they know how to fly a Megazord, they didn't know perfectly this time, but they did have a generalized conceptual idea. If Billy made these Zords, and they were always meant to find them,
the knowledge is in the morphing grid.
The knowledge is in the morphing grid. And possibly something has to spark that knowledge. He didn't know it until they got there.
Well, speaking of when he got there, Ashley almost
because
kills
then
herself.
They also know the inputs for the missiles and shit. They already know how to pilot these things.
Oh, we're going to get to that.
They just know how to use these. And if that's true, that means that the knowledge, somebody prior to them had already been using them, and they know how to use these.
But the little area that they're at, looking down at the Zords, there's a little console area that looks similar to the one that gave off the turbo powers.
Which would make a lot of sense.
Especially if it was Billy created.
Fucking Billy.
Once again, we keep finding perfect evidence that makes it very hard to deny the aspect that Billy made these Rangers.
And I have the same note you do, but mine goes further. Because, yes, Idiot Yellow almost falls to her death. The problem is, we've already seen them fall from Megazords.
I don't know how far that is. But yes, I get what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's no fucking way.
Rangers,
it's going to be. She's going to fall, land, and then spark in a backflip.
She's going to have a shitty day and be very embarrassed.
Which is my next little joke note. Those poles got to be a long ass drop from where they are.
Those are some long ass poles,
right?
So Andros has horrible aim shooting.
And we have to get to, let's see. Oh, yeah, because there was the Indiana Jones reference right before that. Fucking, come on, Cassie, come on! Jump through the doors as they close, Indiana Jones style. But now we have another problem.
Actually, wouldn't that be more Spaceballs?
Both.
Okay.
Because technically Spaceballs stole from Indiana Jones. For that.
Indiana Jones
Hero barely makes it.
Hero barely makes the door cliche.
Yes, but now we have another problem. TJ gets the penis rocket, which should have been the red since he's acting like a spoiled dick this entire time.
Oh, by the way, the Red Ranger was a dick when they got these suits, and Alpha's in the current... He's dying. He's fucking dying. And instead of actually just going straight there, they wanted to play around and be like, these are so cool, watch me do a barrel roll. And then all of a sudden, here comes the Red Ranger with, watch what I could do. And he does the biggest asshole move possible, jumping on top of every one of the mechs.
Until landing on the rocket.
What if your stabilizers went out and you accidentally killed the Pink Ranger or something?
Yep.
Meanwhile,
the Pink runs into the Yellow Ranger because he, steps on one of the Zords, the stabilizers go out, and she curves into one of her teammates.
Oh, and by the way, when the monsters follow them.
We don't know anything about these damn
And by the way,
machines.
meanwhile, while the Rangers are playing, Alpha's like, where the fuck are they?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm dying.
Followed by the most annoying warning ever. Energy, 5%. Energy, 5%. Energy, 4%.
Okay, this is important.
Energy,
no,
4.
This is important. When the energy shuts down, the Megazord is still moving.
Yeah.
That's important. There's a reason.
Yep.
This is another thing that is Andros' fault.
Yep.
I'm serious. It didn't dawn on me until after this episode, but Andros is doing something, and he's not telling them, and they don't know it, and it's sapping an awful lot of energy off the Megazord, because after the Silver Ranger is set free, and the Megazord no longer has to hold 15% of its utility to keep a Ranger alive, because this Ranger is morphed. This machine is keeping a Ranger attached to the morphing grid alive. That's a lot of power.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's sapping at least 15% of the unit's power to keep this guy on life support, and nobody knows it. When he is set free, all of a sudden the Zord gets a lot more powerful. All of a sudden it's just destroying all these monsters that it couldn't handle without Zane. They were like, oh fuck, we need more stuff. This is no way we're going to win. And as soon as that Silver Ranger is set free, the Megazord seems to become stronger.
Yep.
Man, TJ's over there like, man, why are we don't feel like we're at full power?
Yeah.
And just like,
By the way,
oh shit,
They never have been.
Shit, my friend's on life support, guys. I totally forgot to tell you.
And you can tell that the last part of the system is designed to keep Andros alive, to keep Zane alive over the rest.
Yep.
He takes priority in the power systems because when the Zord shuts down, it is not shut down, but it references...
still has enough energy to move. It's like, power 0%. Oh, hey, we killed the monster. Our Zord's been sitting at 0% for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Let me help it up, and it's going to reach its arm the fuck up.
It could still move, it could still walk, it could still turn its head. There's motor function. When our Megazord lost power and went to 0%, it was destroyed.
Yep.
When this Zord went to 0%, it's not actually at 0%, but it's designed to tell you this Zord is dead now because Zane takes priority.
Yep. Oh, and
he could
while they're flying through space and the monster that
No, he
followed
wants to
them comes
defend
back-
it. Hold on.
Okay.
he probably should have rerouted power when he got a team. I can understand why Zane took support.
They should at
priority
least know.
when
Yeah.
2 years by himself.
Yes.
2 years Zane has been in cryogenic sleep. He had no reason to do all that because the only person he was.
He also didn't have a Megazord. He just had a ship.
Yeah.
So, I can get that part why, and maybe when he got a team and he had other lives in his hands, he probably should have rerouted power or found a different way to keep Zane alive while not crippling your Megazord.
Right.
Yes, dick move. I get it.
But I mean, it was working.
Yeah.
It was working.
Yeah,
so
it was
why
working just
say
fine.
anything?
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, he didn't lie. They never asked.
Oh yeah. So admittance, just withholding the information is
Yeah.
It's a dick move, but it's technically not.
hardcore dick move.
Yeah.
It is a dick move, but it's technically not
Yeah.
lying. If you don't ask the right questions,
Right.
there you go.
It's the best dodge ever.
Which, speaking of dick move, now Andros gets to be the dick. Did you watch the combining
Yes.
for the Megazord?
Yeah, I saw that.
He's the dick now, so that's why I was like, okay, I
It's
guess.
okay. It matches him.
Yeah, I guess it'll work out then.
Dick. So now we got the Mega Voyager Megazord.
Yes, which shoots a GPO-2A missile.
Yep.
Fucking sweet.
Which obviously is strong enough to kill off a mutated Darkonda.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every time they
It's
get a new,
basically
every
it's a
time they get a
tactical
new
nuke, yes.
Megazord, it's always more powerful.
It's a good thing that they constantly just build tactical nuclear arsenal, by the way.
Yeah, by the
Yeah.
way,
Which also makes me question why the world powers are still not concerning themselves with the fact that we have a group of rangers that live up there
With
that
the
look
nuclear
down on
warheads.
us like gods that now carry full nuclear armament.
Yep.
But we'll just ignore that.
Yeah, we'll just ignore that, just like we'll ignore the fact that at the end of the episode, after everything's said and done, guys, we better be careful. Astronema knows full well that we're fucked up and can't save the Earth. She may
And-
attack. Hey, you know what we should do right now? We should attack the Earth. Somebody get on that.
To be fair, the world government, though we can't see it, they are taking notice that there
Yeah.
are these godlike people above us creating nuclear arsenal and
Well, let's be real.
planetary destroying capable weapons.
Let's be real for 1
Yep.
second. If
They're
TJ's
taking notice. You know how I know? Because they're building giant subterranean bases right now.
since
Yep.
since it's TJ's Zord that is the nuke, it would be kind of pointless if you only fire it once and he's like, "Well, my Megazord's useless, guys."
Right. But
Right.
that means the Rangers,
They have to keep making them. Yes,
they're making that shit.
yes, they have. They have to. Otherwise, you have a TJ's is like,
No,
in
that's
the cockpit, but
that's
I can't-
fine. I get that they have to. They're the heroes.
They have to.
But the world government,
There's nukes up there.
they're not even saying a damn word about it. There's no questioning the great Power Rangers.
We kind of see a hint of it when we see the NASDAQ chief holding a classified file.
Yeah.
There is something going on in the background here that we can kind of retcon a little bit, because later on we're going to go to Lightspeed Rescue, and there's going to be a full subterranean underground military complex which not only makes Ranger weapons but Rangers. The military was not willing to just stand by and let kids protect the planet.
They
They
made
don't
Especially
know that-
kids with nukes.
They don't necessarily know that they're kids yet,
No.
but these people have appeared on TV. There have been social interactions, and later on, they will be completely revealed as children, and the government will say, hold the fuck on.
Yeah.
Well,
And they will hire young adults
yep.
to take the place of children,
I think
not even out of high school.
the next couple of series, actually, I think this is the last series for a little while where they're not high schoolers.
Yeah.
I think they're all young. Yeah, Lost Galaxies, young adults. So is Lightspeed
Yep,
Rescue.
they're young adults. They are
Time
part
Force.
of a military division.
Time Force, Wild Force.
Not the Rangers. Those people that end up becoming Rangers are part of a military division.
Do you consider an academy like a high school, like a place where you go to train?
No, an academy is after school, because an academy is like a police officer's
Oh,
academy.
my.
That's what
Then
they
we're
were.
re- then we're really-
They were police officers.
They- after-
I know what you're referencing.
After space, we don't have any more high schoolers until Dino Thunder.
Right.
Good. Because I know people hear my opinions a lot, but look,
And then we skip it again, a couple more
Until
years.
like the Megaforce, isn't it?
The Samurai, I think they're high schoolers.
Okay.
so kids are building nukes. That's good.
Yeah, no, you're
Yeah.
right. No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I'm right. Yeah, Samurai. I think
Either
they're
way-
good.
What year in high school are they? These kids. Do you think that
TJ
they were
actually-
freshmen in
Turbo?
Turbo?
I would guess maybe sophomore, if not
I'm gonna give them junior.
junior.
So
yeah.
they're junior right now?
No, that'd be senior now. I think they were junior in
sure?
Turbo.
Think they're seniors now?
I want to.
I think they're.
I'd guess junior-ish.
Right now, I know they're on
the
like
OG
summer break.
The OG Turbo Crew, fucking, they were seniors, graduated. After graduation, they're like, "Oh, we're college kids now. Time to hand it down to high schoolers again."
Yeah. Now, how far down do you think they handed?
I want to say
They might have been sophomore at the time?
because everybody was there around the time of fucking. So they knew everybody else because the new guys, like our team now, would have been freshmen because then graduation. So when they got the turbo powers, they would have been sophomores. So by now they would have to be juniors, if not seniors. But they had to have been at that level where they had to have at least taken the SATs because I don't see these motherfuckers going back to school.
I think they are juniors on summer break.
Yeah. So I think they all went and got their GED.
No, I think that because
I don't see one of them going to school.
But no, that's because we're in
school
the
at
summer.
the end of the show. There's barely a school.
No, we're in summer right now. They have 3 months off to look for Zordon. That's not outrageous. It's not unreasonable. For a while, they were still going to school.
In the beginning of the series.
And they didn't have a graduation ceremony that I remember. There was no graduation episode, so they went on summer break. That gave them 3 months of freedom to live on the station and look for Zordon.
See, this is what happens when we only get together every couple weeks, because, you're right. Within, it's episode 3 or 4, we have Dumb Dick Lone Wolf runs off while Rangers are in school taking tests.
because they're in school.
So so right now, they're on summer break. Yeah,
so
you're right.
if they are juniors, or if they were juniors, they're either juniors right now, or they're becoming seniors.
Yeah.
Right.
Question, Shane.
Go ahead.
You know any juniors?
No.
You technically do. You know a senior. You know my nephew.
Yeah.
Josh?
No, Alex.
Alex. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Think Alex needs a nuke? Would you trust him with that kind of responsibility?
I wouldn't trust him with the morphing grid, let alone a fucking nuke.
No.
This is my problem with children's superheroes.
We're teaching the boy to be better.
No,
but,
let me be real with you. I don't trust a 40-year-old with a nuke.
You're right.
Yeah.
I don't trust anybody with a fucking nuke.
So I'm just bringing it up that it's crazy that the governments of the world are not irritated or a little questionable. Look,
I don't know.
We
I
know
trust
these
Big
monsters.
Boss with a nuke.
These monsters literally have to be taken out by the forces of nature. The Megazord would raise its arm up, take 6 lightning bolts into a sword, store the power, and cut it to kill it. Think about the level of power that is.
If it's 6 lightning bolts and a lightning bolt is 1.21 gigawatts.
It's actually a little more than that, but yes.
I'm just going back to the future.
I get the reference.
Trust me, we'll get back to that later on.
But I'm just saying, that's an awful lot of power. This missile kills monsters. This missile is probably stronger than any bomb we have on the planet.
Oh, I guarantee it.
And they just make them up there.
That's true.
It's these kids.
Well, what are you going to do?
One kid goes bad, which, by the way, has happened.
Yes, it has.
We've seen it. The governments of the world have watched a Green Ranger massacre Angel Grove.
Yes.
They know it's possible that these kids lose their shit sometimes, and now they have the most powerful nuclear arsenal on the planet. They misfire that fucking thing and it hits the city. How much damage does it do?
A lot.
Does it do total damage? Or does it just go a little explosion?
Well, I'll just go ahead and say it does total damage.
I think it does. But I don't think we ever miss with that missile ever.
But since this is a kid's show and kids are not really focused on the politicals,
They're not.
Speaking of total damage,
we are attacking this show at an adult level.
Yes, we are.
When you bring up total damage, the Astro Megazord and the spaceship has got to be totaled at this point because of all the damage it took with Alpha in charge of it.
It is.
And it's like, okay, they're
take
going to
them
need a
weeks.
lot of time.
It's going to take them weeks to fix it.
Yeah, because they're working on it constantly. And I think the next time it launches into battle, it's not actually at 100%.
It kind of reminds me of Voyager in a way.
Yeah,
because Voyager didn't have a
damaged.
space station to go and get the Voyager repaired because they were lost in the Delta Quadrant. They literally had to repair on site all the time.
There's a couple of episodes where they're talking that it's not fully up to power yet.
Like they're all because they
Which is the reason why once we get to the next episode, it's mostly filler.
Where are we?
We're on the Trash Ranger coming back.
Next episode, True Blue to the rescue. Welcome back, Justin.
You know, I'm going to be honest here. Surprisingly, I liked this.
Yeah.
I liked Justin.
Yeah.
It was nice to see him again. It was nice to see that being a superhero did not fuck him up mentally.
Yeah.
He's not sad and disgusted. Like, he went from being a superhuman to being a kid again.
Yeah.
Now, his augmentation has come back, but there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Because whatever happened to the morphing grid that disabled most of the turbo powers, those cars are carrying morphers.
Well, hold on. First, we start on a desert planet where the turbo vehicles are still under
Mountain Blaster and
no, it's
Storm Chaser or
it's
whatever?
It's Storm Blaster and fucking
Red Tornado or whatever.
Yeah,
Lightning Cruiser.
Lightning Cruiser.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lightning Cruiser and Storm Blaster.
Storm Blaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, Storm Blaster. But the vehicles are still captured and are towing stuff.
I do like.
Yes, they're being used as slave labor for
Divatoxes.
Divatox.
Yep, because those are
Piranatrons
Yep.
have them.
Yeah.
So the Lightning Cruiser gets freed.
Yes, because of idiots.
Yep, and
100% because of idiots.
and sacrifices himself
to free the
free
balloon.
Storm Blaster and tell and beep
Now
beep
why?
beep 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 get the fuck out.
Why? Why did it do that? I think there is a legitimate storyline reason here. Not just because we want to see the blue come back or whatever.
Right.
There's a real reason. I think that because Tommy has moved on and the powers are damaged, there's currently nobody to accept the power of the Red Ranger.
But there is still a kid.
There is
who
still
was
a kid
a
that
blue
was left behind.
So I
Yep.
think
And maybe because of the car's attachment to the morphing grid, just like I said, how memories and experiences are passed, maybe somehow, on some level, they know that Justin is still available.
yes.
I kind of wonder, when we get to the Morpher being revealed, it's like, could that have been from the robot Justin?
Because it also went straight to Justin.
You did.
Yeah.
Because he was the last
It went
person.
straight to Justin,
because he
which
was-
means there is a connection between that truck and the real Justin.
Well, yes and no. Technically, it's trying to get there, and then shit goes down.
he was the
and then
la-
the Rangers help to get it to Justin.
He was the last.
Well, they got it free, but it did go
Right.
to Justin.
Yeah.
When it got-
knows where he
Right.
is.
Is because he was the last person connected to it.
Which
Right.
means that somehow, just like we've mentioned before, through the morphing grid, you are forever connected, even if you give the powers away.
There is a reason why they keep saying that saying all the time. Once a Ranger,
You're
always a Ranger.
Right.
That has to be somehow legitimate.
It's not just a fancy thing like, oh, I was a Ranger 10 years ago, but I'm always going to be a Ranger here.
No,
Right.
somehow you are always connected
You are-
to the
Yeah.
grid.
Because all it takes is my old morpher to get fixed. Let's do this shit again.
Right.
It's been 10 years.
Once we get to that episode, we're going to speak
What did we
even
do?
further into some
Let's ask something real quick. Okay, at the end of the episode, before we started space, when their powers deactivated, they just had the morphers, right? I mean, they didn't just did they give them away?
No, I believe that when the powers were,
The powers died.
but they still had
Our
the shit on the
connection,
wrist.
the morphing grid's connection to Earth was severed.
To Earth.
Yeah.
Which is
To
why
Earth.
I think it might be the robots.
Well, this is actually because he might have some sort of point, but there's a reason I have to ask. When we last saw the Storm Blaster, did it go off on its own of its free accord?
I do not remember.
I know it was at Earth when the building was being attacked.
It was at Earth when the building.
When
Command center.
The
When the
command
command center.
Yeah.
Okay, so the
This
cars were
command
captured
center,
then.
Yeah, command center gets bloated up. Divatox says, I don't see any bodies. Where's some fucking bodies? Piranatrons are digging around. They probably found the cars.
No, I thought they captured the cars previously.
They did.
I think-
they did.
yeah, they caught
did.
those
Oh, yeah,
Before,
they did.
because
But
if you
they were-
remember,
but they were
when they
on
were
Earth.
storming the fucking command center, you saw Lightning Cruiser and Storm Blaster, and they're like, beep 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 beep, let me go, motherfucker, beep beep, and they can't do that. They're being captured.
This is a legitimate
Right.
question. Where did that blue morpher just come from?
The robot version, maybe.
But they sent the robots with the powers to Eltar.
Yeah.
But
With the powers.
if the robots got destroyed, defeated...
But then the car can't
But then the
get
car
it.
wouldn't know because
the car was captured.
Robot is in Pekin, and the car is over in fucking Bloomington.
The robot, the car,
No
the
way.
car can't get it.
Yeah.
The car was captured by Divatox and had no association with the robots after the robots left.
all I can think of, and it doesn't make much sense, but Maybe there is a spare morpher connected to the power grid still. That's in the glove box.
It's a possibility.
That's all you can think of.
They could have had. They could have had.
Here's the
spares.
thing. Just to give it some sort of okay. We know that it was tied to Justin more than anybody else, the Storm Blaster.
Yes.
Right.
He was.
We know that they've made copy morphers.
Yes.
Because the robots had copy morphers.
They could have made a couple spares in
So
case.
maybe
Yeah, there
there
could be
are
one in the other
spares
vehicle, too,
in
so.
the vehicles.
There's a possibility that there's a red turbo one in Lightning
That's
Cruiser.
why TJ
Yeah.
Right.
became the Red Ranger later on.
And that would,
Right.
that would make sense. TJ becomes the Red Ranger later on, but then again, he has a morpher. They didn't lose those things.
No, when they
took
yeah,
them with
yeah.
them.
somehow
into
the
space.
somehow the power was.
They didn't work, but they did take them with them into space.
Yeah.
They probably just keep it in their locker, like.
It's kind of a memento. It's a
like
thing.
I was the
Maybe
red.
like
Kinda
reactivated around
like,
the time of Forever Red.
Kind of like
something.
another morpher we'll see later.
Yeah.
It's kept
Kinda
as
like-
a memento.
It kind of like a. It's
But
a,
it
it's
does
like a-
make sense that if TJ, just to give it a little bit of credence here, by the time we get there, we won't have to cover it. TJ does turn into the Red Ranger. He turns into the Turbo Red.
Turbo Red.
Now, by what we just said, if there were copy morphers made for the robots and sent out, maybe because Billy has to have 700 fucking projects
Backup
to work on
morphers.
at any time, or whatever happened. I don't know why. Because it wasn't Billy by that. No, it was.
Billy probably created the turbo powers.
Yes.
Yeah, he did. You know what? I'm betting you I know exactly what the fuck it was. They did. After they made the fucking copy morphers to go with the robots out to Eltar, they said, oh shit, maybe we should have copy morphers in case, I don't know. Let's start it up. Oh fuck,
Well, this-
I dropped my key.
Well, also,
Car,
no,
come here.
No, this bullshit has happened before where we've lost connection or had morphers destroyed.
Or the coins got destroyed.
Or the coins got
Right.
destroyed. So, look, when we made the robots, that was Zordon. That was Zordon and Alpha, okay? This was not Billy. This part was not Billy. Billy made the original morphers, and he only made the ones that he gave out. But then we got 2 new vehicles in, and Zordon was making these Rangers, these experimental robots that might be able to step in from time to time. And he gave them the ability to morph and made copy morphers for them.
and maybe he made a couple extra copies and put them in the cars.
And just for
Right.
the sake of, he made a red and a blue. Justin gets the copy blue, he reconnects to the grid, and then he becomes the Blue Ranger. That explains this episode, and it also gives us a little bit of extra thing where TJ can say, I watched Justin do it, and maybe an episode we never see it. We know we never see it. There may be a background episode that was never done where TJ went to Storm Blaster, or not Storm, went to Lightning Cruiser, and said, I'm going to need that.
Yeah.
I know you have it. Storm Blaster had one.
Opened up the glove box.
Yeah.
Be
Right.
the Red Ranger again.
Right.
Excellent,
And
excellent.
like I said, they could have been working on those because how many times has it happened where, oh no, I lost my morpher. Oh, hey, I got a car. Hey, car, come here. Give me my spare key.
Well, I think it's
You know.
very much because like when the coins and shit are destroyed, we now have a backup. We have something
Yeah, you're
that
bumping
exists
knobs.
that is
Don't bump
tangible that we can go get. That explains how the car has it. It gives it. There is an explanation here, though we're massively retconning. There is an explanation that does make sense.
But now that we've given the explanation,
So Divatox calls us drama.
yes, hey man, if
Right.
you see a blue car flying in space,
Let me know.
let me
I
know.
need that.
I need that.
and this is
She
one
goes,
of those things.
oh, you lost one? I'm going to capture it and I'm going to get even better on it.
Yeah.
No, you motherfucker. Click.
But these are bad guys being bad guys. Why would you even like Divatox? That was about dumb. But
Yeah.
we've already discussed the fact that Divatox is kind of new to this, so she thought that she could call somebody in that sector or whatever and be like,
this is
"Hey,
the first time
be
she
on the
did it.
lookout."
She called fucking Rita,
Right?
Yeah.
and Rita laughed in her face.
She's too new to realize
Yeah.
that everybody in
He's
this
out for
organization
themselves.
will stab you in the ass.
Everybody is out
Yep.
for themselves.
She's too new. We have covered that. That does make sense that she
So,
be done
anyway,
up.
Now, since we are
Now
in
her
a-
brother wouldn't have made that call. He'd have been like, "We're gonna have to go get it."
Right. Now, because we're in the mood for theorizing, Justin has his E.T. moments. Has an E.T. moment.
Yep.
Where does Storm Blaster eat the Reese's Pieces? Where do those go?
Wait, what?
the
Justin
car
has
with
an
the
ET
Justin.
moment. They fly in front of the fucking moon.
I
like
saw that.
Elliot
Yeah.
on his
Okay,
bike.
that's fine. I don't.
So where the fuck did the Reese's Pieces
well,
go?
okay, E.T. is in the Star Wars universe, so we're not about to tie that together. We have to review all the Star Wars movies.
So
no, that's just a joke.
So
Fair
Justin is kicking some ass as a kid against these
But
Remember-
it was after he rode in Stormblaster.
Remember when he was driving?
close to the Morpher.
driving.
Well, here's the thing. They were going to save the Rangers, and the glove box opens, and Justin even looks like my Morpher.
He was even surprised, which made
Yeah.
me, and he would be surprised because his Morpher right now is at home in his drawer.
Yeah, broken.
And then all of a sudden the glove box drops down, and he's like, "My Morpher,"
The second
and he didn't even question
I promise
it. He picked it up.
We see it all the time. The second he grabbed that Morpher, put it on his wrist,
Augmented.
back to being a Ranger.
Yep.
You'll see it in other series.
No, what happened was Justin goes and sees, not morphed, Justin goes and sees the Rangers tied up or whatever. He gets back in the vehicle, starts charging the building, then the Morpher pops out.
Yeah, but all he has to do is touch it.
Yeah, he
or
touches
even,
it,
Or
and
even
it's just-
probably be in proximity of Stormblaster.
Yeah.
Okay, so
To
then
be fair, in the year that he was a Ranger, I know he's a kid, but even in a year as a Ranger, he learned martial arts. I mean, fighting the Piranatrons
No, these things are super powerful
Yeah.
because so far we always fight them morphed.
And
Yeah.
to be fair, Justin did give up a great fight. I mean, come on,
that's
these
what I mean,
guys.
compared to when the other Rangers first fought him
Oh yeah, they.
unmorphed.
But the only thing I will give this is that we have noticed, for some reason, Justin seems more augmented, possibly because he's such a young kid. The power, I think, affects him more extremely.
because it has to grow him.
Could some of his superpower have come back since he lost his power?
No, because then he can't
No.
connect to the morphing grid.
Okay.
Because they did
No.
determine that.
Yes, you see it in the Turbo movie. Kimberly and Jason are no longer Rangers, and they get captured so fucking easy. They don't
Yeah.
even put up a fight.
Well, no, he's
We'll see it
talking
in an
Justin had
episode later.
superpowers.
The ant bites.
Oh,
but
yeah.
because of Justin's superpowers, the augmentations of the Ranger abilities would have killed him, so it detached him from the morphing grid
Right.
while he had superpowers.
Right.
But I think just all he has to do is be in proximity of that morpher.
And like I said,
And he's probably
and like I told you,
reconnecting.
he learned something being a Ranger. And
And I know that by looking at him, he was kicking around monsters at 10 and whatnot when the other Rangers were not. They don't seem. He seems to be physically stronger than some of the other guys outside of power, outside
because
of
of his
formation.
younger.
Here's a
And I think
question
it's
I
because
got.
the augmentation affects him more because he's younger.
I got a question here. How much time for him has passed for Justin from when?
Couple of months.
Just a couple months?
Well,
Yeah.
I imagine they're on summer break.
It
Because-
seems like it'd be a lot longer than their time.
I
period
would
in
give
space.
it 1 year tops.
No, it can't be because
No.
at the start of this series they are in school.
Yeah.
And this series only runs for a year, and right now they're on summer break, so we couldn't have went a whole year.
Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, Justin would still be at that school, unless he moved.
he did. He moved.
He moved.
Because
There we
remember
go.
at the
That's
end,
why
Daddy
he's
got
not.
a new
He's
job.
not at Angel Grove School anymore.
Yeah.
But
He's got Angel Grove stuff in his room, though.
well, he was from there.
Right.
But right now, it's only been a couple months. It could only have been a couple months. In fact, in terms of real time, we're on the 26th episode or whatever. It's been about 2 months.
Now, when
Yeah.
when Justin saves them and they start fighting alongside each other, Justin turns around and is like, "Hey, who are you? I was blue."
Yeah, he
Yeah.
about kicks the shit out of TJ, and he was like, "Who the fuck are you, replacement? I was the blue." And he's like, "No, it's me, TJ. I got a demotion."
I liked that moment. No, I'll be honest. I liked that moment. I liked how like they were legitimately happy to see him. He was just happy to know that the people that he knew that because he was on planet and he watched them leave, and there was no guarantee they were ever coming back. Yeah. And there's
That's why at
probably
the
been,
beginning of the episode, he's looking up into space, being like,
Yeah.
"Man, I hope my friends are okay."
And the
And he
montage,
sees a shooting star,
the
and he's
montage of the
like,
turbo
please
stuff.
let my friends be okay.
and that makes a lot of sense. He is younger. He would be connected to these guys like older brothers.
And sisters, yes, they are his friends, and he'll always be their friends. And he was just like, Man, I hope those guys are okay.
I've had my issues with Justin, but this episode felt genuine.
To be fair,
and it was a nice experience to see him come back, and it was actually handled with less camp than some of the other returns we've seen.
To be fair, a lot of people don't hate Justin because he's not a bad ranger. They just don't like the fact that a kid is a ranger.
Right.
I mean, Sentai did it too with the Kiba Ranger. It's basically what it is. He is the Kiba of our series.
Kind of, yeah.
Because Kiba is a kid. When he morphs, he becomes.
But I liked this episode. I'm to be honest with you.
It wasn't bad.
Now,
it wasn't.
This crossover was only for America, right? This was.
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
Now there was one thing I
wanna
didn't
say
like about this
most of
episode.
it
It's
is-
very
yeah,
small
America.
nitpicking.
Yeah.
What?
The only thing I didn't like is we didn't actually get to see him go. Let's shift into turbo when he
It
just.
would have been cool to see the actual transformation.
That was
clip
the
come back.
only.
Which we kind of saw a little bit later with Adam, but a
That-
little bit.
Yeah, because Adam, they actually redid his transformation.
That is
they
the
let us
only thing.
Yeah, and we didn't get that with Justin. Justin very
right.
much just
He
changed.
just flipped in and he was
Right.
morphed. That was my biggest. I think
Yeah, he didn't even flip in. He drove in as a
He drove
ranger.
through,
Yep.
yeah.
We didn't get to see anything.
that's the only problem I have with it is I didn't get to see him. I know I.
They even could have just replayed the footage. I'm sure they had the clip.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is
Right.
I
kinda
didn't
disappointing.
like Turbo, but it still would have been neat after.
If it would have been like,
Right.
my morpher, and then all of a sudden he would have been like, he could have looked right at the camera and been like, I guess it's time to shift back into turbo. And then it would have been like, Jew, and just could have played the little scene again.
Right.
And then he could have drove in as the blue.
Or it would have been even cooler.
There is something to be said for the nostalgia that is caused
Or-
by the fact that we see the
or when he-
transformation every episode.
or when he crashes-
It
Right.
feels weird when it's not there.
when he
Yeah,
crashes
like
into the
instant
wall.
transforms,
And the
he's still
Rangers are
running.
hanging there,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, "What the hell's going on?" After a car drives through the wall, he could have jumped down. He's like, "Are you guys okay?" And they'd be like, "Justin," and he'd be like, "I got this, guys. Let's shift into turbo right there," and just fucking morphed. That would have been so cool.
It would have been, it is a
Yeah.
moment that seemed missing. Strangely so, yes. But for what it's worth,
It's not a bad episode.
I like
it's just
this.
that I have one nitpick.
Well, I have one nitpick too. The dad isn't a douchebag. In fact, the dad goes
actually
out of his
he is.
way.
He still is.
He
He's
kind of-
just slowly
'Cause he had to-
becoming a better
he had to
person.
work.
isn't-
He has to
isn't.
work.
Yeah, I'm fucking.
Once again,
late
he's
at
still
work.
he's still the same fucking d-bag that's like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Justin. Daddy's putting his job before you.
Right,
And
but
I
then
get it. Look,
Yeah.
people do this all the time. People are like, well, it's better to be successful and offer your kid that lifestyle and yada. No, it's not.
No.
It's better that you fucking be there as a goddamn person than it is you give your fucking
Right.
kids some money to live on.
Right, which is the reason why
because they
it-
turn into
yeah.
entitlement little.
It's not
fuckwads.
just that.
Yeah,
There
not
is-
just that.
There are legitimate lifing. It is more important that a kid have a parent that is a real, living, fucking embodiment person
A person that's actually there.
than here's some fucking money because mommy and daddy are successful lawyers that spend 19 hours a day at work. You are not a parent. You are a provider. There's a huge fucking difference between a provider and a parent. Learn it and then
Yep.
fucking apply it.
Yep.
He did learn it at the end of the episode, though.
Yeah,
He's
that-
learning it.
Yeah, because he
Because
walks
even
outside.
Justin-
He walks outside. He's like, "Fuck, I gotta go into the office on a Saturday. What the fuck?" And he looks up and he's like, "Oh man, that guy's being a real parent to his kid." Justin, we're going fishing because I gotta be a better
even,
parent.
even Justin said it. He's like, I'm so busy at work, I got to go in. He's like, can't you just do it on Monday?
And he's like, no, I'm a provider. I got
Yeah.
some money.
You know.
I got to make that paper.
You know, your job is obviously a Monday through Friday job. Why don't
Money.
you just wait till Monday?
Money.
Okay.
Money's more important than kids.
So once they
Yep.
kill off the giant of the day,
A free day at the park will get you nothing.
they go and
Those
free
extra
up.
$10 for that cheeseburger at McDonald's next Monday, that's what's going to make your childhood.
They go and free up the red
Lightning Cruiser.
lightning cruiser once they defeat the
Which,
giant.
by the way, man, that was a funny scene.
the,
Fucking
the Pirantrons and stuff like that.
Justin's driving and the Rangers are...
No, they're on their boards.
At first, they were not. When they appeared on the planet, Justin's driving. They are literally running. And
Yeah.
they're still like a mile out, and they're like, you guys know we got boogie boards, right? Why are we fucking doing this shit?
Right.
When they did fly to the planet on their boogie boards.
Oh,
when they
okay.
got to the planet, they were hoofing it.
Yeah.
What was that about?
It was so weird.
But yeah, they go to free
They
up the-
free Storm Chaser, and TJ had his moment with his old car.
Right.
And Andros has a lasting effect on the Piranhatrons. Andros finishes one off and similar like, nope, bye.
Oh yeah, he takes out like 4 of them, and the other 2 are like, "Yo, dude."
Now, we've done this Ranger thing. In fact, we've already won this Ranger thing, and we don't have enough to do it again. Nope.
Well, to be fair, what does Divatox and them really expect? 2 Piranhatrons taking on 6 Rangers?
Exactly, but it is funny to finally see the
Yeah.
Piranhatrons be like, you know what?
Fuck it.
We've done this enough to know this ain't going anywhere.
I like how he looks
Fuck
at
it.
he looks at Andros and he's like, "I'm good, man. Take the car. I don't even like that thing. Bye."
Yeah.
And then Justin says, if you ever need me again, I'm always here. So was that supposed to open up the possibility of him still coming back again? Or
I think it was meant to leave the door open, though we never open it.
because I'm guessing he
Unless
might
we do unless we do a Forever Blue.
Well,
Right.
I'm guessing he was involved somewhat with the finale in his local area.
Yeah, probably.
Right.
Because he's not a Power Ranger again.
But he still has his morpher now. so.
That power did not
Well,
go away.
but-
He didn't
but
just
again-
get one morph.
But like I said, he can't be a Ranger again. Daddy's learning how to actually be there. And as we know, Rangers can only be Rangers if they're orphans or their parents are fucks. And Dad's learning how to not be a fuck.
To be fair, you also have to explain that later on. He's like, "Son, happy 16th birthday. I'm going to get you a car." "Oh, Dad, I'm good."
Yeah.
I got
Don't worry, Dad. I already got a car.
I got a blue Jeep.
Yeah, I
He's
got
like,
blue Jeep.
"That's a nice how did
Blue
you?"
fucking hardcore Hummer over here.
Yeah, he's fucking.
Yeah.
He drives up. He's like, "Where'd you get that at?" He's like, "Space."
I've had it for a while.
Since I was like 12.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Man, I really haven't been around.
Man, you were a
Right.
Power shit. You were a Power Ranger.
And even if he
No,
lied,
but right
he-
here,
he doesn't
when
know
they
that.
just
Doesn't know
saved,
that.
when they just saved,
I thought his dad actually found out at the end
no,
of Turbo.
no, he didn't know.
no.
Listen, I hate Turbo
The
so
most
much.
he
I
could
was
do,
not-
the most he could do is be like, "Hey, you remember my friend Tommy from when I was high school at like 12? Yeah, he gave me this car as a
His
as a
dad
birthday
will
gift."
find. His dad will find out at the end of Space.
Yeah.
He will, because Justin was hanging out with those kids every fucking day.
Yep.
and they go televise that they're Rangers. And his dad
probably
watches the
his dad is
TV.
like, wait, what the fuck? And he's like, Justin, those fucking kids you used to hang out with.
Wait a
Wait.
minute.
Justin, were you a Power Ranger?
Yeah.
Wow, Dad, took you that long? Yes, I was. He's like,
Fuck, I really wasn't paying attention.
"Are you still a Power Ranger?" And as he like slides his morpher behind the couch, "No."
Right.
Of course, that's assuming he's not fighting some other bad guys at the time.
Right. Well, that's not a conversation that has to happen right now. That's a conversation that happens like
When we get to
in
that,
20 minutes, after the monster's gone and everybody's safe.
It's not like his dad would get mad. Being a Ranger is an honor in their universe.
Yes and no. Again, they have a CNN and a Fox News equivalent, so depending on what Daddy's watching, the Rangers are the most evil, vile creatures ever, okay? They cannot provide like I can for our country.
okay, this coming from the Rita National Network, probably.
Basically, yes. There would be a news affiliate that would say, "Hey, the Rangers are assholes. They're kids.
If the
They have nukes."
but realistically,
Gotta blow-
if the Rangers existed in our world, there is no way in hell they would not be met with government resistances.
Right.
This would be the fucking the Marvels. This would be our equivalent of the Marvels fucking Registration Act. Basically,
Yeah.
you'd be working for the government as a special force.
Which
mean,
does
Lexby.
actually start to happen.
Yeah.
Yes,
There
because
is a police force which employs Rangers,
SPD takes place in the future. Space Patrol Delta, you
which
train,
means that at some point those powers are government controlled, and the Time
And it's
Rangers, Time Rangers were government controlled.
But it started in Lightspeed Rescue because they basically had a folder, and he's like, "We need 5 exceptional people. That guy's a great firefighter. He's a Red Ranger.
Yeah.
She can climb a mountain like nobody's business. Yellow. He likes to swim with fish. He's blue.
Basically.
That guy's a cowboy. Make him green."
But really, no, that is the
Speak-
first organization that
Speaking
tries
of cowboy.
to pull it towards
Yes.
government control.
A few series do make it like a government-owned thing, while some don't. Like Ninja Storm, they're in a fucking academy for ninjas.
Yeah.
Dino Thunder, they're high schoolers. That Tommy's like, hey, here's some morphers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do go back and forth with it.
Yeah, well, speaking of going back and forth, what's the next episode?
Oh, back and forth, yeah.
Episode 19, Invasion of the Body Switcher. This is
So,
happy birthday.
Ashley's, happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
I want
Ashley.
some dick for my birthday. Who got me dick?
Damn.
That's all this episode is I want dick. Give me dick.
Oh my god.
Everybody gives Ashley a present. Carlos's present was awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
Everybody
Oh,
needs
gee,
one.
thanks. A fire extinguisher. What? Everybody needs one.
Everybody needs
You
one.
do realize that Carlos probably was like, you guys know that Ashley's birthday's tomorrow, and he's like, fuck! Goes
What
to
do I have around the house I can
He
read?
goes into his room. I really don't. I have 2 of these. I'll give her one. And then fucking Andros is like, here you go. Isn't that a pretty necklace? Because I like you, and you like me, but we're not really going to do anything until the end.
You know, he's not going to say a damn thing about it.
Yeah.
No.
He's not going to say a goddamn thing. Until
wait.
later on.
Till later on when his friend looks like he might get it.
2 episodes.
Yeah, in an
Literally
episode
2
or
episodes.
two. Yeah.
So we got a body switching monster
So-
who can change his body along with other people's
Astronema
bodies.
is actually not an idiot. She does have legitimate plans that seem decent. They just never work out in the end.
I had one major question on this,
Go
and
ahead.
I answered it for myself.
Go ahead.
I was like, why is she not just killing these Rangers when she incapacitates them?
Yeah.
And then I answered my own question. I did actually come up with something that made sense to me.
And what's that?
Just for argument purposes, I wonder if the ship can detect life forms inside of itself.
It can.
So, let's say that
It's proven.
somebody is working out, and she actually walks in and kills him, not incapacitates him. Maybe an alarm goes off to tell everybody some motherfucker just died.
Well, we already
And then everybody would be alerted, and what she was trying to do would have been foiled.
we already know that it can detect life forms on the ship because if anybody's like, hey, does anybody know where Carlos is at? Deck will be like, not on the ship.
But that's, yeah.
Or he's in the mess hall.
Anybody know where Carlos is? Carlos is on deck 7 in the
Right.
weight room.
Yeah.
But
There you
that's exactly what I mean. So I answered my own question when I
which
was
technically
like,
still makes her smart.
Although technically
Yeah.
speaking, she zaps one of the fucking eyeballs, and all of a sudden Dekka is nowhere to be fucking found. Literally zaps one camera.
no, they knew something was wrong because Dekka did not understand what had happened, but she must have informed them because they were looking into what did they call that?
A power spike?
No, it wasn't a power spike.
Some sort of
They
security
called it
outage.
a surveillance blackout.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until he went down there and saw the camera destroyed that he was like, oh shit.
Because Cassie was taken out first.
They were trying to fix it program-wise.
Although I did like when the real Ashley and Cassie were walking and talking, and those guys snatch Ashley and put her behind a bush, and Astronema comes strolling out. It's like, yeah, and then Cassie keeps hearing because apparently these guys cannot hold a small girl
Right.
at bay. I know she's augmented. I get it. But Ecliptor's not even helping. He's
Yeah,
just like,
it's two dudes holding a girl who's technically a Power Ranger, and all you get.
I know she could easily break.
I'm sorry, Lois Lane puts up more of a fight than you do,
But
bitch.
what's funny
What the fuck?
is every time Cassie kept stopping, he's like, "You hear that?" And then she's like, summons fucking her minions, and they're like,
and her fighting her minions.
and
That was
Cassie's
funny.
really fighting him, and she's like, knock it off. And like she's actually doing really well, to be fair. Not even trying. She's like, whatever. I'm like, I'm seeing like real
Yeah.
martial arts, like blocking and shit and pushing. I'm like, damn girl, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Why do you carry that stick? You can obviously
Until
fight.
all of a sudden
Yeah.
one hits her.
What the
she's
hell?
like,
You dumb motherfucker.
Oh my god, she knocks him out.
She's a whap. And I was
That-
like, you got knocked the fuck out.
That was a Bruce Lee moment when Bruce Lee got punched in the face and into the dragon. He was like, "Oh, bitch, who punched me? Who punched me?" But no,
Every motherfucker's gonna die until you give him up.
he kicked everybody.
Everyone's got to die.
Dude, but I thought that was just hilarious because you can see because it's not Astronema, it's Ashley's character. Ashley's actors had to be like, oh, whatever.
I was impressed with how the girl who plays Ashley took on a lot of those mannerisms, and I did believe that was Astronema. Like,
Right.
it sold well.
It did.
And that could be hard to do if you don't have any acting talent. It can be hard to act like a different person.
We all know that
Right.
Power Rangers actors and actresses are not fucking
Most of the time, they're bad.
They're not
Right.
they're not, and they get worse, by the way, just to
Oh,
let
I
you know.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
And then Ashley's Astronomer was like, eh.
I mean, it's tough.
Yes
Like Bill
and
says,
no. I
it's
mean,
tough.
especially when
Hey,
you
let's
have them
be real.
doing the side-by-side. Where
Astronema
it's like,
has some overacting.
Oh, well, if you're really Ashley, what'd you get for your birthday? Huh? And I'm like, yeah, no, that's definitely, you got the mannerisms down right, because I would have slapped that annoying bitch by now.
To be fair, we all know that Astronema is not the greatest actor. Destroy them!
No, you
No,
know, I
she's
think
one of the best.
there is an awful direction taking place. Because I've been saying that since the first episode. I've been like, oh, she's so bad. Then I got to see her act like Ashley, and everything about her changed.
Yep.
Her mannerisms, her voice, the way she enunciates things, everything about her changed, and almost instantly. And I was like, oh, they want her to be fucking stupid, like Shatner up the Power Rangers.
Right.
But I think sometimes, just sometimes, not all the time, her acting is a little iffy.
I think it gets better in the next series when she actually becomes.
I really think
It does.
I really think their direction
It
for
starts
her
getting
as a
better
bad
in
guy.
this, like later on, like,
Like,
a few episodes later,
second-
it starts getting better.
It does. Actually, she does start getting a lot
But that's
better.
what I'm telling you
Yeah.
is, as a bad guy, she has a very specific walk she does. She has these really awful mannerisms that she pulls off, and
And when she becomes Corona again, you'll see.
they all change.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is important because
Oh.
it does show that she is doing something.
Shit, you haven't seen bad acting yet.
I think there's some really bad directing in
Mark.
her direction.
Oh no, no. I'm sorry, but when we get to Lightspeed Rescue, just listen to Vipra. You're gonna hate that woman.
Oh my God!
I'm sorry, Tommy Wiseau. That's an Academy Award winning actor right there.
He deserves the motherfucking Emmy.
Dude, no, I'm sorry. She phones in her lines every time she's on screen.
She's incredibly attractive. And she's incredibly attractive, and you will not care after 4 minutes.
No, she's real bad.
You will not care. You will be like, oh, this bitch again?
Yep.
She's awful.
Technically, I was saying that every time I saw Divatox come on screen.
Oh, worse than Divatox.
Yes.
Easily worse than Divatox.
Dude, if you haven't watched Lightspeed Rescue in years,
She is the worst
I think I
thing.
barely saw
She is the
episodes
worst.
of Lightspeed back then. So.
Worst villain I have seen in Power Rangers history, acting-wise. Worst. Hardcore, the fucking worst. No redeeming quality at all.
So at the end of this switching body stuff, we get to see a secret room in the engine room.
Oh, no, before that, I have one other complaint.
Oh.
So, the monster can transform shit, right?
Yeah. Why doesn't he transform in the Rangers' bodies?
No, why
With each
doesn't
other?
he give the Megazord fucking Serpentera batteries?
That would have been hysterical.
That would have fucking ended the fight. Congratulations, Power Rangers defeated. Done.
Oh, by the way, we also see something that plays into something that I wasn't going to say anything, but when Astronema morphs and is the Yellow Ranger, when she takes one hit, the morphing field fails.
Mm-hmm.
You know why that's strangely important?
Wait, you mean when when Astronomer actually falls from the space station face first onto Earth?
Yeah, no, but she was morphed.
Yeah.
When she takes a real hit, the first and only real hit that landed on her, you notice she was staying out of the fight? Then she took one real hit, and it demorphed her. Why? Because there's something about being evil or a monster, you can't connect to the grid properly.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen this multiple times that proves that the only way to have an evil ranger is you take a good person who could have been a ranger, you turn it into a ranger, and then you have to manipulate it somehow.
I think it all comes down to the fact that to be a ranger, I think you actually have to have some kind of a pure heart.
Yeah, because she gets hit, she can hold the illusion. She got hit once, and the powers failed her. She demorphed. That's important, because that is a legitimate part of Rangers lore, which has existed since the first series. She didn't look for she picked Tommy Oliver. Why?
Yeah.
Because she had to connect somebody to the morphing grid, and she couldn't connect Cletus Cassidy.
Yeah.
Awesome Evil Ranger, by the way.
Think about it.
Right.
Awesome Evil Ranger.
Why would you pick Tommy? Why wouldn't you pick an evil, psychotic, angry serial killer bent on world destruction already?
Because they can't.
Because they can't.
Cannot connect to the morphing
No.
grid. You're too slash happy.
Right.
There's something that says Rangers are good guys. They're connected to the grid.
Yeah.
Bad guys are still pulling from the morphing grid, but they're doing it differently.
They have to be manipulated.
Yeah.
The bad guys. Zed said, both me and Zordon use the morphing grid.
Yep.
So when one of them disappears or it goes out of alignment, both of them are like, there's something wrong with the grid. There's an imbalance in the grid.
Like the Force.
Yeah, like the Force. The bad guys are pulling from it too, but they're utilizing relics, magic, things of that nature. Sometimes evil technologies.
Hell, Tommy had a candle.
But all the Rangers are connected in some sort of technologically mystical way.
It's a mystic thing. It's always been mystic.
But they
just
use
utilize
technology to create the catalyst.
You have to have a catalyst. Correct. That thing in your hand or in your wrist, that's your catalyst.
Yeah.
Everything about a ranger is a mystical thing. It's magic.
Right.
It's just, I need a catalyst.
Yeah, this was just interesting. It was about the only thing in the episode.
It wasn't a terrible episode.
No, it's not bad.
No.
pretty decent.
We have seen
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
I saw a grandma.
Oh my god, fuck
Yeah.
that episode. I'm so glad she never comes
So,
back.
spare room in the engine room has somebody on ice.
Yep, you get to see that he goes down there and goes into his secret room and he checks up on Zane.
They accept the excuse that they were never told because why would I bring it up?
I'm a lone wolf. I don't need to say anything.
To be fair,
You say
it was
shit.
never brought up. I mean, hey man, they never. It's like I told you when we first started this. What happened to his team? I don't think they ever asked that question. You're a
He didn't have a team.
Yeah, where was your?
Yeah, he didn't.
Where's your other Rangers at?
There's now even more proof of it because don't we get the backstory here?
In the next episode.